President Bola Tinubu appoints Nuhu Ribadu security advisor, 7 others. Terrorist attack Katsina communities kill 3, abduct 12 others. Nigeria's inflation rate hits 22.4% in May. On the foreign scene, Sudan war death toll surges past 2,000 as fighting enters 3rd month. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for joining. And now the details. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 8 special advisors. The announcement was contained in a statement released on Thursday by Director Information State House Abiodun Oladunjoye. Pioneer EFCC Chairman Nuhu Ribadu is appointed Special Advisor Security. Others appointed are Dele Alake, Special Advisor, Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Ya Udarazo, Special Advisor, Political and Intergovernmental Affairs, Wale Edun, Special Advisor, Monetary Policies, and Olu Veinje, Special Advisor, Energy. Azakios Adedeji is appointed Special Advisor, Revenue, John Ugochukwu Wajumogu, Special Advisor, Industry, Trade and Investment, and Dr. Salma Ibrahim Anas, Special Advisor, Health. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu on Thursday received a former military head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, at the presidential villa in Abuja. The former head of state came barely 2 days after the visit of former President Goodluck Jonathan to brief the president on developments in Mali. There is no official information on the mission of his visit, but General Abubakar has played a stabilizing role in the run-up to the 2023 general elections as chairman of the National Peace Committee. His committee ensured that all major candidates in the February 25 presidential election signed a peace accord to douse tension during and after the polls.
Let's always give peace a chance. It's absolutely necessary, because if there is no peace, there is no country. And Nigeria, there is enough for everybody. So let us try to be each other's keeper and also put our own hands on deck to move the country forward. Well, you know, this subsidy issue has been on and off and so on. But Mr. President has taken a decision to remove it, and I hope we'll all see how to help him to make sure that it succeeds.
Survivors and family members of victims of boat mishap in Patigi local government area of Kwara State, where over 100 people died, have been recounting experiences on how they survived the accident. Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, while on sympathy visit to the leaders of the communities affected, promises to take measures to avert future occurrences. The report.
Patigi town is nearly 6 hours journey away from Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, largely because of bad roads. About 4 villages, namely Pada, Ibu, Zanka, and Sampi, are affected, with all of them losing 108 people to the accident. The survivor narrates what happened and how he escaped.
Just when we bought horse, when the breakdown, then God had just helped me. I hold there's one tree there, just hold the tree and climb the tree. So I'm there, then God just helped me, so I climb the tree, just fall down. Then God just fall inside the water, and all the people died inside.
This village head was full of sadness over the huge loss.
The number of the people that are affected are about 108. We have about 200 inside the same local canoe. And unfortunately, the canoe broke into 2. And before they now link up themselves to the river banks, the whole thing sinked. So the males ones among them were able to fly and swim out of the water, while the female ones and the children among them. The point is that it's just that it's like the canoe is overloaded and it broke into 2. But Adibi, there's an access road. They shouldn't apply through the river. It's just because there's no road network at all around the area.
The Kwara State Governor, Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, and some politicians came here to commiserate with the families of the victims. Accompanied by the Etsu Patigi Ibrahim Umar, the governor says government will take measures to forestall future occurrence.
Very sad incident. We're here to commiserate with the people, the traditional council of His Royal Highness. We're deeply saddened at the event. Measures will be taking place. We'll be having discussions with NEWA to encourage them on enforcement of safety codes. And, we also would be sending a team to Lagos State to see how the Lagos State laws work alongside that of the federal government to reduce conflicts and overlapping of responsibilities. In that effect, we're basically saying we'll be looking at drafting our own laws to enforce safety on the waterways.
The families of the victims call on federal government to find permanent solution by dredging the river Niger and construction of bridges that will connect the villages.
Several individuals suspected to be looters stealing rods and other building materials have been trapped under the rubble of the demolished Douala Hotel in Kano State. One person has been confirmed dead as 3 others were rescued alive while others are still missing. According to eyewitnesses, the incident happened when the looters were scouting for iron rods from the rubble of the demolished building. The public relations officer, Kano State Fire Service, Samidu Yusuf, who visited the scene of the incident, said that his team had so far rescued 3 persons alive. At the time of filing this report, 2 or more persons were said to be trapped in the demolished building. Meanwhile, men of the Fire Service, NEMA, Police, Kano State Urban Planning and Development Agency, among others, were seen at the scene trying to rescue others trapped in the building. Terrorists have attacked several farming communities in Katsina, killing 3 people, abducting over 12 residents, including women and children. At Kiabusha community, the bandits killed 1 Alhaji Ado, while at Ungwar Nakware, residents say that bandits killed 2 others and abducted 1 person, wounding several others. The bandits rustled over 12 cows, unspecified number of goats and sheep, all in Faskari local government area. 8 residents of Dandume were also abducted during bandits' attack. About 25 rice smugglers were attacked by the bandits at Maje village of Jibia local government area, where they carted away over 20 bags of rice, 30 cartons of spaghetti, and 3 motorcycles. Faskari, Dandume, and Jibia local governments have been battling with the rampaging bandits over the last 8 years. Security agencies in Katsina State are yet to comment on the recent attacks. Still on security matters, troops of the armed forces have in the last 2 weeks eliminated 42 bandits, terrorists and other criminals in various operations in the North Central and the Northwest. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Amadami, said this on Thursday in Abuja at the bi-weekly news conference on the operations of the armed forces. Amadami said that the troops apprehended 13 suspects in Irekweni community along Lokoja Kaba Okene Road in Kogi. He said that the troops recovered a mobile phone containing numbers of 4 suspected ISWAP terrorists on the watch list of the security agencies. He added that 7 kidnappers, informants and collaborators were apprehended in Nasarawa Igong local government area of Nasarawa State following a tip-off. According to him, troops also arrested 86 suspected criminals and rescued 9 kidnapped civilians across the 2 zones within the period. In the Northwest, Namadami said that the troops of Operations Hadarin Daji and other operations eliminated 38 bandits, apprehended 10 and rescued 24 kidnapped civilians. The Nigerian Bar Association has told President Bola Tinubu that the determination of what constitutes illegal orders still remains a matter within the exclusive preserve of the courts of law. The NBA's comments come as a reaction to the comment made by President Tinubu during his Democracy Day broadcast that his administration will not tolerate unnecessary illegal court orders. NBA President Yakubu Mekiao, however, said that only the courts can determine what illegal orders are. The NBA said it looks forward to Tinubu's demonstration of high regard for the rule of law and the orders of courts of the land. Meanwhile, frivolous lawsuits are now punishable by heavy fines, as recent court pronouncements suggest. Abdulrahman Umar speaks to some legal practitioners in Abuja on fines slammed on lawyers for filing cases viewed as ridiculous and unnecessary. The report.
A senior lawyer, an immediate past Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Festus Keyamo, was slammed with a fine of 10 million naira for what a federal high court calls a frivolous suit against former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. What this means to the legal profession, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Tanim Inua, says it amounts to abuse of court processes and obstruction of the cause of natural justice for lawyers to institute lawsuits deemed to be frivolous, vexatious or unnecessary.
Unfortunately, we are taking the provision of the Constitution of fair hearing too far. We are taking it for granted. I was sometimes in England, one of the lawyers are telling me that if you file a matter, the judge will tell you, no, you don't have a case, withdraw it. But here, if a judge tells you that you don't have a case, withdraw it, you see that the petitions going to the NJC that the judge has taken into descended to the arena.
Folarin Aluko, an Abuja-based legal practitioner, said there is no justification for any legal practitioner who is a minister in the Temple of Justice to be involved in an act that could bring the legal profession to public ridicule.
It is unprofessional for a lawyer to take a case to undertake to file an action knowing fully well that action is frivolous or that there is not enough, the elements of that case are not sufficient or do not even exist.
Not only lawyers are susceptible to frivolous lawsuit, a fine of 40 million naira was also imposed on former presidential candidate by the Court of Appeal in Abuja for filing frivolous suit to stop the inauguration of President Bola Tinubu last month. Tunji Abayomi believes that such a huge fine is meant to regulate the attitude of those involved in the legal practice in the country.
The courts will regulate the appetite of lawyers for mischief. That's the point I'm making. You understand what? Ultimately, in the process of imposing fine and disciplining them, they will begin to retreat from just taking just any case.
The legal practitioners are unanimous that the fines imposed on frivolous lawsuit will only strengthen judicial system and guide lawyers on whether there is legal grounds to pursue a case or otherwise. Abdurrahman Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at a compendium on identical twins and their common interest. Details and more after the break.
There's a mountain in Biliri town that truly reflects a lost civilization. Discover the lost story of ancient humans and the existence of giants whose stories have long been forgotten.
They are giants, and because they are giants, it is possible that they did this work.
Could this be proof that giants lived long before now?
These columnar joints formed long before even human existence scientifically.
And did they leave a mark to show their existence?
It is beyond human beings' formation.
Don't miss out as we explore the mystery rock shrouded in tales of ancient lore and lost civilization.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secured are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England's squad,
You are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Here's a look at the top stories. President Bola Tinubu appoints Nuhu Ribado security advisor, 7 others. Terrorist attack Katsina communities, kill 3, abduct 12 others. In other news, Emir of Bichi, Nasr Ado Bayero, has asked Nigerians to desist from any form of violence capable of threatening the nation's peace and unity. Speaking while receiving members of the Nigeria for Peace project, the Emir said that religious and ethnic tolerance are important factors for a sustainable economic growth. Trust TV's Idris Jibrin reports.
According to the Emir of Bichi, Nasr Ado Bayero, peace and unity must be sustained in order to add strength to religious and ethnic cooperation among all Nigerians, regardless of their political differences or economic status.
Duk ƙasar da take zaune ana rigima a cikinta akan addini da ƙabilanci.
Any nation that survives in religious or ethnic violence will never progress. This is why it's always important for people to vote those who will ensure their development. I therefore call on all Nigerians to stay away from religious and ethnic violence. The Nigeria for Peace project is an initiative of various civil society groups aimed at ensuring unity and reconciliation among various factions of the society by using traditional rulers as ambassadors of the project.
We feel that and we believe that it's only when there's unity in Nigeria that development can really take place. And it is our also belief that we understand that the whole African countries look on their own eyes on Nigeria, and they consider Nigeria as a country that gives them the guide. So for that reason, Nigeria needs to remain united, because if Nigeria should disintegrate, then definitely there's going to be a lot of problems, a lot of chaos. Like I used to say, that no any country, any continent in the world that can accommodate the Africa, particularly when Nigeria is in crisis. The West African countries, none of them can really accommodate.
For these members of the Independent National Unity and Reconciliation Committee, their aim is to further ensure that Nigerians, especially those who felt dissatisfied with the outcome of the 2023 general elections, are reconciled.
Everything about discussion in Nigeria, we are not talking of one united Nigeria. Everybody is talking about either you are from the north, from the south, you are from the west, or you are an Igbo, you are a Yoruba, you are Igala, you are whatever. These are issues that we must address. That the first thing that must come to somebody's mind is, I am a Nigerian.
The organization per se have to conglomerate different people from different states, different religion, to make sure we achieve this very aim. And what is the aim? Unity, because unity is the strength any country or any society or any community can base on, because without the unity, there will be separation, and we don't want that to happen.
In the next coming days, the group intends to open up a dialogue with different sections of the society geared toward understanding their grievances for possible solution. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Twins from all the 34 local government areas of Katsina State converged on the ancient city under the auspices of Katsina Twins to foster unity. Katsina Twins is an association aimed at bringing all twins of Katsina together for understanding, unity and togetherness among them in the state. Abdullahi Amadi reports.
It has been estimated that there are over 1.2 million twins cutting across all age groups in Katsina State. This meeting discusses problems, prospects, and way forward for twins in Katsina State with a view to providing solutions.
Most of the time, twins may have in the four family, most of the time. In such family, there are some other twins, there are people, they don't have the power to take their responsibility. And Allah has blessed them with the twins. So how do we help those families? How do we help those people with less privilege? Let me quote it like that.
At the moment, Katsina Twins Group is planning a compendium that will provide relevant information about its members, which is expected to bring them together.
In our group, we have over 300 members. Even now, people are still coming off.
Anything, we are doing it together. Everywhere we are going, our school, our seats, we can share our problems and give us advice. We are not fighting.
I love him so much. But sometimes we fight a lot. Sometimes what I want is not what he wants. But especially he is introvert. Yes, then and I'm extrovert. That's why we are fighting. He don't want talking and I will be.
Twins are blessings to every family. So whoever had twins in his house, just take that. It was just an exceptional blessing from the Almighty God. Our companionship between I and my twin partner, there is a patience between us and there is an understanding. Initially, when we started dating, our girlfriends used to get confused with identifying us.
The Katsina Twins Group, which is holding its general meeting for the first time since its establishment in 2022, is also planning to encourage revenue generation drive and contributions to support needy members. Many public commentators expressed confidence in the initiative, saying it will bring unity, understanding, and promote cohesion not only among twins but to the generality of the people. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And in business news, Nigeria's inflation rate in May 2023 has risen to 22.41% from 22.22% recorded in the previous month, representing the fifth consecutive increase in the headline inflation rate. This is according to the recent Consumer Price Index report released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The inflation rate in Nigeria rose for the fifth time in a row in May, after the rate declined to 21.34% in May 2022. Inflation continues to rage at an over 17-year high despite contractionary monetary policies by the Central Bank of Nigeria. On a month-on-month basis, the headline inflation rate in May was 1.94%, which was 0.03% higher than the rate recorded in April. Food and non-alcoholic beverages contributed the most to the rise in the inflationary pressure, followed by housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuel, 3.75%, and the clothing and footwear, 1.71%. Meanwhile, inflation is expected to continue its upward trend through the year, following the announcement of the removal of petrol subsidies and the adjustment of the forex rate at the official market. Small-scale farmers in Nigeria are facing a challenge in the wake of recent fuel subsidy removal. Jamil Mabai reports that farmers in Katsina are struggling with the cost of transportation, rising food prices, and increased costs for agricultural supplies and labor. Jamil Mabai reports.
Aliu Angawa has returned to his farm with the hope of providing for his family and earning a profit. Unfortunately, due to the recent increase in bandit attacks in his area, he was forced to abandon his farm. He now works as a farm laborer instead of being a farm owner. To make matters worse, the recent hike in petrol prices has doubled the transportation cost he incurred last year, making it more challenging for him to sustain his farming activities. We pay 100 naira before. Now we pay 200 naira for transportation. The food prices for our livestock has doubled compared to last year. Bandits recently raided his village and rustled 4 to 5 cows. But Aliu's cows were spared luckily. They came to our village and rustled 4 to 5 cows, and the lives were lost during the attack. The removal of fuel subsidy has caused a rise in food prices, particularly affecting small-scale farmers like Angawa, who are struggling with increased cost for agricultural supplies and labor.
Most of our agricultural inputs are transported through using vehicles that use petrol. The price of seeds, even labor. The workers that come to your farm and work for you, they will charge you higher because they have to pay transportation. If you are using tractor for harrowing and others, or if you are using, let's say, animals, they all increase the prices as from compared to what we witnessed last year.
Abubakar Madawaki used to buy 5 liters of petrol with just 1,000 naira, which could last for 3 days. Due to the increase in petrol prices, he buys less than 2 liters for the same amount. This has caused him concern, as the cost of cultivating his farm may exceed last year's expenses, with no guarantee of making a profit.
So therefore, the farmers more or less are paying for it. They buy at high price and sell at low price.
Experts suggest that government intervention is necessary to address the issue.
What we are experiencing currently is what is called food inflation. Even though the prices generally of goods and services is increasing in Nigeria, but in particular food items. For instance, maize. Now, a measure of maize is sold at around 1,000 naira, 900 for instance, 800 plus. And this maize is the last resort. If somebody don't eat maize, what else will he eat? So this is the last resort for the masses, and their price is now rising. So the government can come in through releasing its reserve, food reserve. So it can release the reserve so that the price will be tame and the masses can buy it at affordable price. And that is the whole essence of government, for it to ensure the welfare of people.
Jamil Mabai, Trust TV, Katsina.
On the foreign scene, Sudan's devastating war raged on into a third month Thursday as the reported death toll topped 2,000 after a provincial governor was killed in the remote Darfur region. The army, headed by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, has since April 15 fought the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces commanded by his former deputy, Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo. The International Organization for Migration says that the fighting has driven 2.2 million people from their homes, including 528,000 who have fled to the neighboring countries. The death toll has risen above 2,000 according to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project's latest figures, which cover fighting until June 9. In long-troubled West Darfur, the violence claimed the life of Governor Khamis Abdullah Abakar hours after he made remarks critical of the paramilitaries in a telephone interview with a Saudi TV channel. The United Nations said that compelling eyewitness accounts attribute this act to Arab militias and the RSF, while the Darfur Lawyers Association condemned the act of barbarism, brutality, and cruelty. And that's a wrap on the news update. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.